How to move on after you've been dumped. Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. We got the shaky cam today. I am fucking. That stands for the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. Alright guys, I'm talking to my men out there, and maybe it was over quarantine, maybe it was sometime this year, and sadly sometimes it's been a year, 2 years, okay? But at some point you were in a relationship, and either you were in love, or you thought you were in love, or you thought things were going well, right? And then you get dumped, or maybe you kept screwing up, and she finally had enough of it, so she was out, right? She's like, that's it. And so you might have been ghosted, you might have had that last talk, the crying, the hugs, and all this other stuff. But it's evident now, whether it's been a week, a year, that it's over, right? And you feel stuck in the moment and you can't get out of it. So if you're going through that, I want you to listen to that song by U2. You and a Two. Stuck in the Moment. It's a fantastic song. And you'll identify with it as well, because sometimes, you know, if a soldier goes off to war and has a lot of problems adjusting back to society after he's seen a lot of violence and bloodshed and all that stuff, or if somebody is maybe the victim of a heinous crime, they often go into this emotional shell and have a lot of problems and need therapy and need a lot of love and support and patience from those around them. And, you know, heartbreak can feel a lot like that. I said it before, there's been breakups where I felt like they negatively impact me as bad or just as bad, or worse I should say, than the death of family members, which is really crazy to say, and it makes it sound like, well, maybe you didn't like your family that much, but that's not the case. I think with the death of a person, there's some closure and finality, and with the breakup, you know the person is still alive, right? They're out there, maybe they've met somebody new, and they're moving on with their life, and that hurts. You know, in our minds, we're hoping, or we're fantasizing that they're sitting there wondering why they did it, and they're crying and they miss us, and any second that phone's going to ring, you know, or she's going to return one of your 500 texts you've sent. But the truth is, whether she does or doesn't, you know, you've got to find a way to move on, to feel good about yourself, to forget, you know, those memories, if they're plaguing you, if they're holding you back from moving on. You know, you think about the date nights you had, or the shows you watched together, or the songs you listened to, or the memories, and that stuff just, it's like those songs and all of that stuff gets ruined, at least in the short term, by those memories, and or by the pain of the loss, right? And so the tough thing to do, and it's really the only thing to do, and you know, you might have friends or family that you've talked to about this stuff, and they go, oh, just, you know, move on, get over it. And it's funny because it seems heartless, because you want them to rehearse this with you over and over and over again, all the same stuff that happened, and how much you love them and care about them and want to be with them forever and everything. But at the end of the day, you will move on. You know, you will heal. And it's a very, very slow process. It can be a slow process. Especially if you're watching this video and it pertains to you. Believe me, I've been there. And if you haven't, you probably will be at some point. And it's hard. It's really sad. And until you go through it yourself, you don't really understand how it feels to the person that it's affected. And it feels like your whole life just, you know, comes to a halt. You know, you don't want to eat. You can't sleep. You can't function normally. Everything is just verge of tears all the time. It's really hard. So the best thing you can do is to just simply grieve. Allow yourself to experience those 5 stages of grief. And they don't all happen, you can just Google that and find them. They're easy to find. But they don't all happen in the order, right? They don't happen 1 through 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They happen in various stages. You might get a little bit of 3 and a little bit of 1 and a little bit of 2, or a lot of 4. It's weird, but I think with each heartbreak, they're all a little different, depending on many factors. So the best thing you do is go through a period of grief. And it usually depends on the length of the relationship and maybe the depth and connection of the relationship by how long it's going to take you. But at some point, you've got to start focusing on yourself again. Focus on the things you want, because there's probably things you gave up in your life to make her happy, right? Maybe you were into sports and she didn't like sports, so you gave up your buddies in sports and just spent time with her doing stuff, right? I don't like sports, so I've never had that problem with my females. It's always a huge plus, even being an undersized underdog. It's made up if they were like, you're vertically challenged. No, it's never an issue, because if you don't like sports, you usually get a pretty big thumbs up. Nothing against them, but I'm just saying, that's just me, right? So you've just got to find yourself again, fall in love with yourself again. If you're, you may not feel ready to date. You might not feel like you're ready. It almost feels weird. Like if you've been with a girl for a long time and then you go on a date with somebody else, the best thing you do is, number 1, not talk about the girl. 2, talk about anything. Like, a lot of guys do this, and it's really funny. They'll use the same inside jokes they used with their girlfriend with this new person, and then be kind of like, dumbfounded when the girl's looking at them like they're crazy. So it's true. I've heard it many times. So the best thing to do is, you got to have a clean slate. You got to find yourself again. Find out what you want to do. Pack your days. Have things to do. Have places to go. Have friends to go out with. And little by little by little, you heal. You start to find yourself. You start to make new memories. You meet new people. When your heart is open and raw like that, you become more open to other people and letting other people in your life, because you're looking to fill that void. And it can go down a dark road. You can turn to substance abuse. You can turn to food. You can turn to just Tinder hookups, things like that. But try to keep yourself calm. Try to keep yourself centered. Use exercise as a good outlet, for that frustration. It's going to build a better body, you're going to feel better, and it's going to make you more attractive for that next person you meet. There's a lot of things you can do. Update your wardrobe. Start to, again, like I said, socialize with your friends, and they all have friends, or where you hang out with them, there's going to be other people. So open yourself up. There's another chapter coming. There's the next chapter of your life coming. And if and when your ex reaches back out to you, you're going to be a different man. You're going to be a stronger man. You're going to have learned from the mistakes of that relationship. And, depending on the person, you might just have needed that time apart, and now you're back. Never know. But don't hang on to it. Don't do it for that reason. There's a part of you that's going to want to do it for that reason, to show her how great you are now and this and that. And that might work, but you can't go in with that sole purpose or intention of doing that, okay? You have to do it for you so that you're okay. You have to be your advocate. You have to love yourself enough to not let yourself go down that road and risk getting hurt. Like, share, subscribe. Hope you're well. You'll get over it.